Hi friends, this is Madhavi from KingMakers IAS Academy with you for the essay paper discussion. This is section B, third topic, that is 7th question that we are here. So we are discussing this for last few questions. So this question, 7th question, is very simple question because it's about simplicity. So this question, all ideas having large consequences are always simple. So UPSC is known for asking the same question. So just last year, there was a question about the magic in the mundane. So there was a question about how creativity can be arised from anything that is very normal, very usual in life. Like say for example, I'm walking on the road, there is a usual pathway, I'm walking on the road, there is always, I'm seeing the same things again and again. So like this, there was a question about bringing some creativity from the normal life or creating a magic in the mundane. So this was a topic that was asked in the last year. Even before such questions about simplicity, about doing something very, very normal, or talking about smile. Smile is the better, is a good form of charity, or it is a first impression that will create a very genuine environment or a very smooth environment. Like this, there are lots of questions about simplicity. So this particular topic directly is about simplicity, and it is saying that simplicity will bring a large consequences. So it says all ideas having large consequences are always simple. So it is talking about not just simplicity, it's talking about simple ideas. So here, simple ideas, we can talk about every ideas as very simple, or you can talk about everything that is simple as an idea. So you can take in any forms that you wanted to say, and you can talk about how it is creating a large consequences. Say for example, we are in India known for some frugal innovations. What is frugal? Frugal means with a limited amount, with limited resources, with limited money, we are able to launch like satellites like Chandrayaan-3 or Chandrayaan-2 we were able to achieve it with very minimum cost, with very frugal expenditure. So like this, we were able to do many innovations with a very, very limited cost. So, and there are lots of things which is creating a jugaad moment for us. So jugaad means very innovative or very, very small, simple hacks. Like we are creating some wheel when in ancient India or in the going back to the history, when you're talking about the creation of wheel, this wheel is having lots of consequences. It has created lots of effect on science or effects on various engineering technologies that we are now. Starting from our watch, which is having this wheel, there are lots of things which is having wheel. The turbines, the energy, the power plants, the vehicles, everything is having wheels. So the small, simple inventions of wheel is having lots of scientific, it is paving way for lots of scientific innovations. So like this, simple ideas are creating a large consequences. So like this, we can talk about starting with the wheel itself, giving this introduction. So now I'll talk about outline and then I'll talk about this introduction. So coming with this outline, yes, I'll start with this introduction saying about how this wheel has created or provided a pathway for many scientific innovations. So like this, I can start this introduction, or I can talk about how ideas being very simple are having large consequences, or I can talk about how simplicity is the way for larger consequences. So like this, I will start my introduction. Then I will also think about a conclusion, and then I will have my body talking about the power of simplicity, and then I'll also give some alternative perspectives, or it is called as anti-thesis, or it is creating a argument against the sentence, that is against the topic itself. I'll be giving certain arguments against the topic itself, that is reality is often complex. Or I can say not sometimes simple ideas may not result in large consequences. That can be my antithesis, that can be my alternative perspectives. So I'll be giving some arguments alternative to this particular topic. Then I will again come back to the arguments which is substantiating, which is supporting this particular topic, and then I will conclude talking about how simple ideas should be promoted and it should be recognized and will be important to create large consequences. So like this I can end my essay with. So like this I will be doing. First, starting with this introduction, yes, I am talking about this wheels, creating a pathway for scientific innovations. I am moving on to my body, talking about the power of simplicity and why ideas need to be very simple, because it is creating lots of wider impact, or it is creating a greater reach. Like when Gandhi started his this revolution, his national movement or freedom struggle, he just introduced the spinning of khadi as a symbol of the ahimsa, as a symbol of simplicity, as a symbol of freedom struggle, as a symbol of Swadeshi. So this khadi spinning as a symbol has helped everybody to participate, and this freedom struggle became a mass movement. So like this, yes, this simple idea of khadi has a greater reach. It created a mass freedom struggle as the movement that brought independence for India. Then I will be talking about how simple messages can be effective in persuading, or it will be effective in influencing others. Like example, you can talk about he for she or she for she. These are very simple messages which is talking about how women should support other women, or how men should support the other woman to help her overcome many violences, and also support her or give her equal opportunities. So like this, he for she or she for she are very simple messages telling that every woman should support the other woman and every man should support other men. Because patriarchy, or the male dominance, or the male overpowering the woman is not the ideology which is imposed by men on the woman. It is also imposed by the women on the other woman. It may be in the form of the mother-in-law over the daughter-in-law, or even the mother may tell her daughter to be very suppressive or to be very obedient on the men, even if they are torturing her. So like this, patriarchal mindset is not only the men imposing on women, it is also the woman who is telling the woman to be dressing properly, to be very suppressive, or to be very submissive. So like this, yes, you can talk about these messages which is very simple. I have lots of examples in the next slide, but let's take another example here itself. We can talk about we too, ours too. Have you heard about this statement? We too, ours too, or we too, let's have two. Have you heard about this statement? This is about the family planning, talking about how each family should have only 2 children. Or there can be another say as, we too have one. Okay, so like this, about family planning, these are the very simple messages which is telling about how we have to do this. Even the Delhi Chalo, do or die. These are very simple messages which has created lots of impact. So these messages, or even Me Too movement, very simple message. The Black Lives Matter, which was a movement in USA against the racism that was happening in USA. It was the call for people to not to suppress the black people. So like this, there are lots of messages which are given. Even during the Swachh Bharat, there are lots of messages which are given for the women. Even Beti Bachao, Beti Padao is again a very simple message talking about how women should be protected. And when these messages are very simple, it is easy to adopt. It is easy to spread. It is easy, it gets transmitted. So these messages will be adopted in a wider manner. So that is example you can also quote about UPI, Unified Payment Interfaces. It is very user friendly. It is very, very simple. Only you have to type in the number and you have to tell the amount, and that's all. One click, the transaction is done. So like this, these things, when the design is very simple, it gets into the lots of people. Say, for example, even Apple, that is the company Apple, the person who was owning this Apple was Steve Jobs. He wanted his designs, he wanted his hardware and software to be very user-friendly, to be very, very simple in design. So he was able to reach a lot of people. And it is also creating a larger impact. Yes, certain simple ideas are creating a larger impact, whether it is good one or the bad one. Like misinformations, talking about child kidnapping, or talking about somebody who is who is racist. Like this, there are certain messages which are very simple that is creating a larger impact. And it is also, there are misinformation which is creating a larger impact. Only simple messages. So like this, yes, there are things which are creating a greater impact, like Me Too movement. The HEMA committee, which was formed recently, is the outcome of this Me Too movement that was having a larger impact on talking about how women harassment at workplaces. So like this, there are lots of things. And simple messages are also able to communicate effectively, and it is able to transmit easily, and there is a reach for the common people. So now what I'm doing is, I'm talking about how simplicity is able to create a large consequences. In this method, when I'm talking about how simplicity is bringing large consequences, I'm applying various dimensions. I'm talking about women, social issues like women issues. I'm talking about family planning, that is also a social issues. I'm also talking about something like the political messages, or I'm talking about certain scientific innovations. I'm talking about certain environmental messages. So I'm creating a dimensions. I'm able to diversify my points so that I'm able to bring many, many dimensions into my essay. So this is how you have to create your essay, with more dimensions, with more points, with more examples. Then I will be talking about even more examples. Talking about this environmental dimensions, you can talk about how vertical farming, how rooftop solar technology is a great breakthrough in creating or improving our environmental health. So yes, it is creating a breakthrough, because yes, solar technology needed a lot of land. It needed a lot of land spread, because solar technology with the large solar panel, you need a lot of space. But yes, you can create the space in your rooftop. So these simple ideas were able to create a large consequences. And vertical farming, instead of going for horizontal farming, yes, they created vertical farming. Swachh Bharat already, and Apple design we have already discussed. And also, sometime when TN session and our election was starting, we were able to bring some simple ideas, like bringing voting symbol, like the sweeping broom, or the leaf, or the sun. These voting symbols were helping the candidates, or the electors or the voters, to identify which party they are voting. So these symbols are very simple ideas that are having a large consequences. So we were able to reach this election to the people who are illiterate. So voting symbol was one simple idea. And bike ambulance, which was brought by one good IAS officer, was a great innovative idea to create last mile connectivity. So these last mile connectivity is very important for people who are in the remote areas. To reach them, the healthcare should go to them. Even like the Tamil Nadu's scheme, like Veetai Thedi Maruthuvam. There are lots of things. Even now we talked about breakfast schemes. So all these simple ideas are able to create a large consequences. And chocolate Ganesha, in order to reduce the impact of the immersing of idols of Ganesha, which is creating a lot of pollution in rivers. So chocolate Ganesha was one important innovation. It's a very simple idea. And Ice Stupa, the recent issue that is going on with this Sonam Wangchuk, who is in Ladakh, he created this innovative idea about Ice Stupa, Okay, this to conserve water and for water management. So these ideas were very simple, and it was creating a large consequences. And universal voting rights. Yes, it was very, very ambitious thing, but it is very, very simple, because our simple adult franchise rule says that the people has to be only above 18 years of age. No other conditions was there. So it was very simple for us to implement this voting rights. And Me Too movement, Khadi, ping pong diplomacy. I am bringing dimension of international relations to it. That is this diplomacy, that is ping pong diplomacy. Ping pong here refers to tennis, table tennis. Here, China used this ping pong diplomacy to enable or smooth relations with USA during this Cold War. So during Cold War, there was a conflict between, as you know, conflict between USA and Russia and other communist countries like China. So in order to smoothen this relation, or in order to go closer to USA, what China did, China was able to use this table tennis player who's the table tennis team in China, and they were able to show some diplomacy, and they were able to close relations with USA. So like this, there are lots of diplomacy which is very, very unique and very, very simple in thought, but it has a wider impact. Even cricket or any other sports were able to rescue many youth who were drug addicts. There are lots of innovation which is brought by self-help groups, like even Operation this Amul, which is this white revolution or green revolution. You can tell them that is a very simple idea which has brought many different things. You can even not take green revolution as an example, but you can take this white revolution as an example, wherein there are the people joined a group and they started pooling the milk that they produced, and they were able to create economies of scale, and they were able to sell it, and they got profit out of it. Even now, you can talk about carpooling. Carpooling idea, in order to reduce the emissions caused by the individual vehicles. So carpooling is one simple idea, like Uberization or Ola, it is called as Uberization. So yes, carpooling is one great idea to reduce the emissions and to reduce the environmental impact caused by individual vehicles. Odd even policy. Yes, that's one great innovative idea to reduce environmental impact. And even Belt and Road Initiative, again, is a one innovative thought that China brought it. Simple idea, belt and road. And Black Lives Matter, which I have talked about, the racist problem, racial discrimination problem that is there in the USA. So like this, there are lots of examples to tell you that about these simple ideas. Yes, now talking about the recent relevance of this topic, you have to bring the relevance of this particular topic of the essay. That is, simple ideas is creating large consequences. You can talk about memes, cartoons. Earlier we had cartoons talking about the problem of the politicians, or a problem of the democracy, or problem of anything that is there in the politics. So cartoons are one things, and memes, reels, captions, jugad, innovations, hacks. These are very, very simple ideas which are able to create a large consequences. But the problem of simple ideas is, if the things are oversimplified, sometimes it is creating, or you are overlooking the problems that are existing. So when you are simplifying too much, or you are simplifying the concept very too much, there are things that you can misinterpret. Like the problem of liberty. What is liberty? Everybody can misinterpret what is liberty. If you are not talking about the restrictions in liberty, everybody will think that freedom to do anything, freedom to strike, freedom to prevent others from coming. So like this, or freedom to interfere in others' affairs. So like this, you have to define. Otherwise, these oversimplification might create conflict in interpretation or misinterpretation as well. And there can be misinformations which are very simple, but it's creating a large bad consequences. And it is also important that you are not oversimplifying, because you have to understand the real idea, the real crux of the matter in very, very simple manner, or in a very, very nuanced manner. Otherwise, if oversimplification may result in problems like there are problems of family planning. When family planning was a major message that the government wanted to give, there was mass sterilization, which was resulting in death of many people. So in order to reduce the population, or in order to do family planning, the doctors started doing mass sterilization, resulting in the health issues for many women, leading to death in places like Chhattisgarh. So yes, you can talk about all these things in this particular thing. And coming with the alternative perspectives of or arguments against the particular topic itself, you can talk about complexity. That is, complexity is the reality. You cannot have everything simple. Most of the things are very complex, and most of the things are having multi-dimensional consequences. And there are certain things you cannot predict even. The consequences are not very clear. So that you have to understand. And in a democratic country, we have a diverse viewpoints. Somebody is telling something and somebody is telling something. So these are very complex to accommodate and to provide everything for everyone. So like this, yes, you have to talk about the complexity is the reality. And then again, you have to talk about, but still simplicity is very, very important, because it is having a wider impact. And philosophers, thinkers, many has adopted simplicity in order to take a message, in order to influence people, in order to kindle their conscience, in order to bring sustainability in their lifestyle, in order to create some reforms. So simplicity is the one which is very much required to eliminate the ambiguity in any laws. So like this, you can end your message with some way forward, and this is how you will be concluding this essay. Thank you so much. If you have any doubts, or if you wanted to add some points to my essay discussion, please feel free to comment in the comment box. Thank you.